Hi, I'm Bryan with Bush Electronics. If you've been following us on Facebook lately, you'll know we've been really excited about this new Whelen Legacy Bar we're putting on one of our latest builds. And although the light bar isn't on the vehicle yet, I wanted to take a chance to show you some of the capabilities before we had it installed on the vehicle. This particular bar here is a 48-inch Whelen Legacy Bar. It's a duo technology, meaning each one of our modules forward on it and on the rear are capable of two various colors versus white, amber, green, blue, or red. In this case, the front of the bar is set up with red and white. The back of the bar is set up with red, blue, and amber, depending upon what module it's set into. One of the differences you're going to find about this bar compared to some of the standards we might use, like a Liberty light bar, is how thin it is. This light bar is about half the thickness of a Liberty light bar, and Liberty bars are one of the thinnest bars on the market already. The bar itself is only about 1.5 inches thick. The other thing you're going to notice about it is there are no dead spaces as you walk around the light bar with it, and we'll take a chance to look at the back in a minute. But there are no modules that are darkened out on it. There is no black space on it. There's no dead area where a module just doesn't connect into another one on there. And although you don't have to populate the entire light bar when you design it through the WCAD designer on Whelen's website or through our website, we would probably recommend that you do. That's really one of the reasons why the Whelen Legacy is set up the way it is. The other nice thing about it is it does not have individual lenses on there. This lens on the driver's side and this lens on the passenger side is actually all one piece, with only one joint right here, meaning less failure points overall. And although it may sound like there's a larger joint here, there's actually not comparative to what you might be with a Liberty per se, which has end caps as well as connection points every few modules. The aluminum plate on the top and the bottom are just there to prevent UV light from going through, as well as any damage to the polycarbonate lenses, which are hard coated for long life, and so they won't yellow like what you might be used to with some of the other bars that you might have had. This one is a WCAD bar, meaning that it's essentially what you might be more familiar with as serial communicated bar, and it is going to be controlled by a Cantrol, a Whelen Cantrol unit, which in this case is down on the floor out of the way. Although you can't necessarily understand the full abilities of the Cantrol by just showing you the bar, once we get everything onto the vehicle, I think you'll be much more understanding as to what the various capabilities of it are. And the Cantrol pretty much can do anything that you want it to. We really think it's going to become one of the spearheaded controllers and really the standard for what we're going to be using in police vehicles and emergency vehicles across the board here in the near future. But let me walk around back, I'll plug it in, and I'll show you what some of the capabilities of it are. So being a Cantroller, this is the control board for it. There are other options that you can get with it, but we happen to think that the progressive slides, which everyone's used to, just like what's on the 295, is going to be pretty much where we would like to keep it, and this is what the customer was pretty happy with. It uses an Ethernet cable. In this case, I'm just using a shop Ethernet cable because the black one that came with it is already installed in the vehicle, but it does have siren functionality. It actually can control everything that we want on the vehicle, and it will at some point. When we get it on the vehicle, I'll be able to show you all that on there. But slide switch 1 is going to be the rear of this bar. You can see it reflecting off me and off everything behind me. This half of the bar is blue, this half is red. And then the rear of the bar also will do amber traffic advisor, and when I put the bar on, I'll give you a chance to see that. Position 2 will give you all forward-facing red, as well as, in this case I just programmed it to do amber in the back, but we can program it to do just about anything we want for it. And then position 3 will show you what duo technology does, in that it will go back and forth between white and red. And although it may be washing out the camera quite a bit, it really is impressive to see. With a Cantrol, one of the nice things that we can do with that is we can program different flash patterns depending upon the siren tones that you may use. So, for example, this may be the standard tone used with Whale, but as the officer approaches an intersection and he changes to, say, a yelp, the flash pattern can be changed to intensify the awareness that drivers may have about it. When the officer switches back to Whale, the flash pattern will go back to something much slower. And then you could have that even be as simple as when the officer puts the vehicle into park, it could slow everything down. One of the things our customer asked for was that they're going to be parked up in an area to direct traffic for sporting events or on-campus events. So they wanted to be able to have something that wouldn't be overly blinding, but would alert people that they're there and that the road may be closed. If your agency does a lot of traffic control on there, you might benefit from using an option that's called block. And you can program the lighting configuration any way you want. In this case, we did what's called steady flash with 2 modules that are always on and the corner modules that would flash. But you can go one further and put the entire bar as that, so that it would give you a steady flash on there. This is actually at full power right now, but if you wanted to, we could give low power, which would be that. One thing that we're going to see, we've been seeing a lot of our agencies pick up on is something called cruise lights. Cruise lights comes us from California, where it's actually required by law that all police vehicles have outside lights constantly on. They're usually on low power. And a lot of states are starting to adopt this. And although New York currently doesn't have any requirements for that, we've seen a lot of agencies already pick it up. And cruise lights essentially is going to give us low power on the corners, but in this case, we've chosen to take it further to allow the customer to change it from outside to the entire bar. One of the nice things with a control is, even though we may only be limited to 18 buttons, each button can have up to 9 presses. Meaning that as I continue to press cruise, there will be press 1, here's press 2, upwards of 9 presses, depending upon what we wanted the functionality with it. Now, there is no way to go back with it, so if you go past what, on press 8 was what you were looking for and you press it 9 times, you'll have to go back again. But it does give you some great functionality from that point on there. One of the things we've utilized the double press button, or the multi-press feature on there, is the takedowns, for example. On a duo technology bar, the center takedowns are standard, obviously, like we would see with most bars on there. But one of the great safety features that a Legacy offers is the entire front of the bar can become now takedowns. Talk about a huge increase in officer safety. I mean, we talk about a Unity spotlight going to LED, being able to drown out so that the officer's presence coming up from behind can't be detected. With a Legacy Duo, the safety increase is paramount. It really is nothing to compare to it. We can do the same thing to change the bar over to red. That would be press 3, and press 4 would give us red and white combination. When it's duo technology, it's actually 2 separate LED light heads that are in there, or light modules that are inside of it. So in this particular instance, although the white looks a little purplish, it actually is a red LED next to a white LED, and both of them are on. And it makes a very, very intense light. When we talk about alley lights, and as I swing around off to the side, you'll be able to see, but we do get a chance to do single alley, and then with the second press, brings up the entire side of the bar. With a control option on there, and again, we'll talk more about this when we get it inside of the vehicle, but we can have the light bar do a lot of things for it. We'll do arrow stick, and in this particular instance, I've got the California traffic advisor for it, but you can have the entire back of the light bar populated up to just about any different standard you wanted to. So let me flip the light bar around for you, and I'll show you what the back of the light bar is capable of. So as I mentioned, here's the back of the light bar, and I said it does traffic advisor. Now the traffic advisor functionality right now I have programmed on one button, and as you press multiple times, it gives you different functions. So press 1 would be left advisor, press 2 would be right advisor, and press 3 would be center diverge. Now I said to you that this is the California style. The nice thing about a control point, or a WeCan bar, is that it allows us to program it any way we want, so that I can have, in this case, module turns on and then goes off as it marches down. But you could have the entire back of the light bar and slow it down or speed it up, depending upon what the function was or what the requirement was for it. And that's the great thing about control, is it allows us to program various options with it. Now, when I had said before that we would be able to put, that would be the rear of the bar. The rear of the bar is blue and red, and as you saw, it does amber as well. Now it just switched over on position 2, and then position 3, they march back and forth between each other on there. Overall, it's probably one of the brightest light bars I've ever had an opportunity to work with. And one of the great things about it is it's made here in the United States. Overall, we're excited about it. We think that we're going to see a lot more agencies want a chance to see it. If you would like to see it, give us a call at 422-0301 or shoot me an email. And overall, it's another great product by Whelen Engineering. We can't wait to show it to you on the rest of the car. Thanks for watching.